communication. No? Confidence means that this person, confidence doesn't mean to intimidate people. Confidence simply means because I am well informed, so I am giving the information as it's supposed to be. Now, there is no way you can be confident without information. So you see, that means that number 1 and number 3, they have relationship. See what brings confidence is the right knowledge. Are we together? When you have the right knowledge, then you become confident. Without the right knowledge, you can't be confident. No matter how confident you claim you are, let me give you an example of what happens sometimes in the procurement business. No matter how confident the man came in and was talking and is very confident, the moment they tell the man that the man should please run them through his vendors list, the man says he doesn't know what they're talking about. So what run us, we want to have an idea of what your vendors list look like. The man say he doesn't know what they're talking about. They say, how can you see, immediately you start losing confidence because people will be looking at people that you are being showing, it's not by like that, it's by that right knowledge that you have that brings the confidence. That's why topic first do is what? Equip yourself with what? The right knowledge. Then number 4 is also very important. Number 4, you need a what? You need a mentor. Why do we need a mentor in this business? Why do you need? Remember that why we are coming this way is that we are assuming that somebody is starting this business. So somebody wants to go into this business. Somebody studied English language and he said, I want to become I like this business of supplying things. I like this business of maybe, let's say, let me give you an example. If Central Bank of Nigeria now wants somebody to supply white paper for them, they may be needing that paper in 1 million cartons of it. Somebody said, that's the kind of business I like. If no matter how much you like that business, they will not give you that contract if you don't understand some of these things. You need somebody that's done that business before to tell you that, come, sit down, let me tell you how it is done. It is not just, you will not just go there and say you have uncle. Nobody will listen to you. Then the person begins to run through. See, the first thing you need to do is you go and learn the make or buy strategy. The second thing you need is what? You learn how to build your communication skill. The fourth thing you need to do is to set up a company. The fifth thing is to do what? To get a complimentary card. Are you seeing it? Is the person not educating you? You need a mentor. And the person will tell you what to do when they reject you. Let me tell you one problem young people who are coming into this business have. If they come for contract bidding and they reject them, they don't know how to express rejection. Because the first way to know if somebody is feeling rejected is on his face. You cannot pretend about rejection. And now most of the people who want to give you contract want to make sure that you have outgrown rejection. To outgrow rejection means I understand this business. You reject me doesn't mean that I'm not good. You reject me because at this point in time, maybe I'm not suited for the business now. So now you see, are you seeing why you need a mentor? Somebody will say, please forget this number 4, I don't need a mentor. You need a mentor. Okay, get there now. Say, okay, but let me come. After you've said every beautiful thing you want to say, and I say, oh, young man or young lady, sorry, we have 215 people on the list. The person will put his hand on his head, 215. So you are 216, and we are not even assuring you that you will get. At the end of the day, we need only 2 people. CBN need only 2 people to supply that paper, and we have 250 people that have applied. The person's face will just change. Oh boy, there's no hope for me here. Once you make that kind of expression in that kind of a place, to you it doesn't mean anything. To them it means everything. You are supposed to be rejecting you, and a mentor will teach you that when they reject you, you shake the person and say, all right, let's call it a nice day. Let's call it a day. Calling it a day means that enough work has been done. Rejection is part of business. But only when somebody has been trained, they will know that it's part of business. The person will think maybe they don't like me. Maybe there's somebody following me. Maybe it's village people, the way people used to talk about all those kind of things. Then but you see, a mentor will correct all those things for you. That's what they do. You see, after the knowledge you have acquired, you need somebody again to give that practical idea. Then number 5 is very important. This one, in Africa, Africans pray a lot. Africans, everything, they turn it to prayer. So here, you need towards... You must believe. You see, we put it like this. Now, God controls time. Some people used to say, it's not my time. They say there's time for everything, right? Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes you can pray, God, I need this contract so that I can start my family. I need this contract so that I can build a house. But God is looking at you cannot be able to manage it at that particular time if He gives you that contract. You understand what I'm saying? So God may want you to pass through certain stage in life to build you to be able to manage this contract. That's why we call it believe in time and chance. Believe that God controls time and chance. That means invariably you must believe in God. But you see the way, are you seeing the way we are educating you here? Did we carry believe in God as number one like the way some people will do? God is number one in everything. We all know that. But you see here, we have equipped you with knowledge, the communication skill, build your confidence, give you a mentor. Then we say, that, remember there is God. Oh. Are you seeing it? This is how you operate with God if you're a businessman. And I'm telling you, you're going to succeed. Because when it is your time, nobody can stop you. Why? You have done the right things. Some people will come, they will just go and bring only God. They will go and fast for 1 year and say, this contract, even if my village will do anything, I must get it. God will be on your side, but you will not get it. You see, God is on your side, though, and you are not getting the contract. Why? You have failed to do the other things you're supposed to do. God works with people who have already worked on themselves and now say, God, I can't do the remaining. God help you where you cannot do anything again. So these are the do's of project procurement management. I hope they are clear. Then we are moving now to the don'ts before we teach you contract and contracting. So let's go to the don'ts. These things are very, very important. You won't meet any professional that does not know them. So let's go to the don'ts now. The don'ts of project. That means the things you shouldn't do. Yes, the don'ts. The number one don't in in procurement management is never Are you seeing the first don't? Never give up on what? First attempt. Some people will just go first. I'm not doing again. No. Nobody told me this thing is like this. If I had known it like this, I would not. See, now you don't give up on first attempt. You don't give up on second attempt. You don't give up on third attempt. But we had to put never give up on first attempt first, because that first attempt, usually sometimes they are just a room to expose you. People don't understand that first attempts is opportunity for you to even understand what the business is about. Do you know that if you come for a bid where they are doing bid, and they give you the opportunity to sit in the hall without you saying anything, so do you know it's a great privilege for you? There are a lot of things you even learn, so that by the time you have gathered enough information, then you can now go out with that information. So when they reject you, you will not be angry. Never give up on the first attempt. That's the first don't. Then the second don't. Never come unprepared. Never come to a bid unprepared. What do they mean by never come to a bid unprepared? So imagine somebody will come for a bid where they are bidding, and they say, yes, are you Dextel PLC Limited? You say, yes, I'm the CEO. Okay, Dextel PLC, why should we buy from you? But before that, somebody will scrutinize to see if you came here with your tax clearance form, if you came here with your invoice book, if you came here with and they now check your tax invoice book is not here, your CAC paper is not here, everything that shows that your company is registered is not here. Tell me, how can they be confident in you? Now say, oh, sorry, I forgot to come with my tax clearance form. Just imagine. If somebody forgets to come with his tax clearance form, what does that mean? That simply means the person came what? Unprepared. And that's the second rule. Never come unprepared. Number 3. See, we are always using this word never, because there are things you should not do at all. Then number 3, never again. Oh, I'm going to read them out so you hear. Number 3 is never express rejection signs in the face of your what? Project sponsor. Never do what? Never express rejection signs. That means that, are you noticing that there are rejection signs? The key word here is rejection signs. Never express what? Rejection signs. So what are rejection signs? Rejection signs now will be like, you see somebody's face will just change. You see somebody's will not want to talk again. You see somebody's voice tone will just come down. You see somebody's countenance will just change all of a sudden, just because they simply told him there is no way for you here. So this is one of the things you should not do. You should never express rejection sign. So first of all, you learn all the rejection signs and then don't express them. Then let's look at the next thing now. The next thing, if you are giving you some of the do's and the don'ts to prepare you for the business you are coming to. Then the next thing we are now going to look at is what we call contracts and contracting. Contracts and contracting. So before we begin to tell you how to pursue contracts, first of all, we'll tell you what is a contract. Now, remember that the definition of contract we are giving you is for project management. In law, they have what a contract is. In English language, they have what a contract is. But what we are concerned about here now is what a contract is in project management. So in project management, a contract can be defined as the agreement between the project manager and the project sponsor, which is legalized by a document. Let me come again. A contract can be defined as an agreement between the project manager and the sponsor, which is legalized by a document. That means there's a document that legalizes them. They are now in what? In a contract. So now, when they are in a contract, the project manager is the one we are calling the procurement officer here. Hope we are together. So don't get confused. Remember I told you that a project manager can be a risk manager. A project manager can be a procurement manager. Why? Because he learns those things. Now, let's look at what it takes now to pursue contract. Now that we have an idea of what a contract is, what does it take to pursue a contract? What does it take to pursue a contract? The first thing it takes to pursue a contract is to do what? You must set up your own company. That means that you cannot just say you want to pursue a contract and there is no company. Because we are talking about now, you yourself want to pursue a contract for yourself. That's what we are talking about. So you're going to set up a company. How do you set up a company? We are in Nigeria, for example. So I'll be using Nigeria as case study for now. Now, in Nigeria, if you want to set up a company, we have what we call CAC. CAC is called Corporate Affairs Commission. This is the organization that is saddled with the responsibility of registering company for people who intend to start up their own business. So now you want to pursue a contract, you go set up your company, but we'll teach you how to set up the company. We won't leave you like that. But before we tell you how to set up the company, we need to make you understand that you don't need a building now. You know, gone are those days when somebody will say, I need a building to own my company. No, that's not true again. Some people run their company from the comfort of their bedroom. There are professional tellers that do their sewing inside their bedroom, and that's where they call their office. But the company will be registered. So now if you want to register, you go to the CAC website. I've told you that first of all, the registration is done with CAC, right? So you go to CAC. CAC has a website. So you don't necessarily need to go to their office in Abuja. Abuja is the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. You don't need to go to the headquarters to register again. You can be in the comfort of your bedroom. You just have a smartphone that can browse, and that's all. So you go to their website, www.cac.org.ng. Once you go to www.cac.org.ng, you click onto that side, the page will open. When the page opens, what you now see is that they will now ask you, what are you here for? You now see different things. You say, I'm here to register my company. You click it. When you click it, the page will open. They will ask you, what is the name of your company? Now, let me tell you what happens when you want to type in the name of your company. Any name you want to type, others already have that name. If you let's say your name is Johnson, and you say Johnson Ventures Limited, when you type Johnson Ventures Limited, you will see many companies that are Johnson Ventures Limited. The registration process will not move to stage 2 unless they accept your name. If you write Johnson's and press enter, if there's somebody answering Johnson's, it will still tell you there's somebody Johnson. That means that when you come to register your company name, you should be coming with 3, 4, 5 names, right? If you put the first name, they say somebody have it. What do? You put the second name. If you put do you know some people used to type in 7, 8 names before they finally get in one? So if they finally get in one, then they have accepted your name. That means your registration of the company is not complete. Oh. It only means that the name you gave, nobody has that name, because you cannot answer a company name that somebody else is answering. So if that page is okay, then the next thing they will now ask you is describe your kind of business. Sorry, before describe, you need to tell us whether you are going into PLC, limited, venture, and enterprise. Assuming you're going into venture, you now write, if you have already told us it's Johnson Ventures, then you now click Ventures. Now, for young people who want to start their own business, it may not be too advisable for them to start with a PLC or limited, because PLC has a particular amount of people you employ to work for you. You'll be paying salary, and then you'll be able to be paying tax, and you'll be paying FRS, a certain amount of tax. So people who are not already at that level, we used to tell them, no, for now, you can just leave this one and go to venture, where you may not start talking about paying tax clearance form, where we will be talking about employing up to 300 people, where at venture and enterprise, you can begin with 20 else. So now, after your venture has been accepted, then they'll ask you a place. You see a page that will be saying, describe this company. What do they mean by describe this company? What are you into? You just told us Johnson Ventures. Is Johnson Venture a photography venture? Is Johnson Venture a training center? Do they sell cement? Is it water you sell? Is it pipeline you sell? What do you do? So you describe the business. You now say Johnson Venture Limited, we are into what? We are into supplies of motor parts, we're into supply of ceiling, we're into supply of cement, we supply pipe-borne water, we supply this, you are describing what you do. Now, if after describing, they used to provide a space. If the space is filled up, they'll provide a place for you, they'll say specify. Maybe if there are other things you do that cannot enter there, you now say an orders. So when you write an order, there's something also important you need to write again. You now say maybe dealers of this, that, and general merchandise. General merchandise simply means that even though we supply flour, even though we supply this, even though we supply that, we can also supply any other thing again. That's the meaning of merchandise. Now, let me tell you, whatever you register your company with, that is what this company is going to be known for. So on no account will you register your company. Maybe, for example, somebody registered this company as Johnson Clothing Line. If you register your company as Johnson Clothing Line, that means automatically Johnson Clothing Line is a business that is into production and sales of what? Clothes. On no account will you now say you want to use Johnson Clothing Line company to go and bid for contract or supplying cement. You can see it because that Johnson line they are not into cement, they are into clothing line. That's why you see some people will just write Johnson Ventures, so that they can actually be everywhere. But the truth is that even though you're everywhere, there are some project and contract that want you to be what? In a particular area. For example, if you say Johnson Venture, some people will say Johnson Venture, what's the meaning of that? But if you, let's like NYC contract we are talking about now, if you say Johnson Clothing Line, they will understand that yes, this person specializes in clothing. Are we together? So we can afford this, to give him this contract because this is his area of what? Specialty. Not somebody that will come and just say, do you understand what I'm trying to say? They need somebody who is specialized. So there's an advantage of saying a Johnson Clothing Line and a Johnson Venture. If you pick this one, just understand what you are doing. That's why some people also set up 2 companies or 3. They will say, okay, Johnson Clothing Line. Then they will now set up another company. They will say Johnson Venture. They will use this one for anyone. But if they want to pursue clothing business, they will not say it's this one. So, but if you are doing that, you also have to be very careful, knowing fully well that now you are opening 2 companies. Now, once your company has been registered, there is something they must give you. If they don't give you that thing, your company is not registered. We call it RC number. You can see Esford Global is a registered training center. In Esford Global has its RC number. RC number, if they type your RC number, your company details will appear on the CAC database. If they type your RC number on the CAC database and your company detail does not appear, that means that your company is not registered. If you do business with a company that is not registered, somebody can drag you to court. Let me tell you one secret in life. When you begin to rise, you are definitely going to be attracting enemies, whether you like it or not. You say, no, but I don't like trouble. It's not about whether you like trouble or not. Once you are rising, enemies rise with you. So you have to do the right thing so that they don't pull you down when you are getting at the top. They say, this man is a liar. His business is not registered. Let's type that number. And they type it, it's not there. So now that's why we take time to say, before we teach you how to pursue contract, we must teach you how to set up your company so that you don't go and pursue contract and win contract and somebody pulls you down. Are we together? Hope we're following. All right, so the next thing now we are now going to, we now know how to set up a company. Okay, before we end, sorry, please, let me say something very important before we move to the next thing. The next thing is, once this company is registered now, there are forms you will print. Before, you need to go to CAC office to go and print those forms. But you know that now, you don't even need to go to CAC office again. If you have a printer in your house, you can connect your phone to your printer, and then you print out all those documents. So you and CAC self doesn't have any physical contact. The time you'll be having contact with CAC is where maybe you say, okay, you want to change your company name, or you want to add some things that are not there. They might require you to come, or they might not even require you to come. But anyway, if you're setting up a company, then you may not need CAC. And now the price to set up your company is not that expensive again. Before, they were paying about 100,000 to set up a company, but now if you want to set up your company with 25,000 naira, you can set up your company. Now, if you set up your company, that is the only time you are now qualified to go and print what they call complimentary card. Are you seeing that when people give complimentary card without registering their company, they are doing it out of ignorance, and at that low level, you can't try that at high level. When you get to high level, your company is not registered and you have complimentary card, that is not proper. A complimentary card is a sign that my company is ready. Take my complimentary card, then you set up a cash invoice. You see, we are preparing you on how to set up the company first before we go into how to pursue the contract. So once the company is properly set, then you don't have any problem with pursuing contract again, because nobody will come and invalidate your business any day or any time. All right, so that being said, we'll now look at now, the next thing is now we have assumed that we've taught you how to set up your company. So the next thing now we are going to now tell you is how to pursue a contract. We have told you how to set up your company. So now that your company is now set, we'll now move straight now into how to what? How to pursue contracts. Number one, if you want to pursue contract, the first thing we'll teach you first of all is we'll have what they call the contractors. So these are the subtopic I'm going to talk about under how to pursue a contract, how to pursue contracts. First one, we talk about contractors' mindsets. Contractors' mindset. Then the next one we'll talk about is the interview session. Then the next one is post-interview session. All right, so this is what we are going to be talking at under how to pursue a contract. Now, the first thing here is under how to pursue a contract we have is what? Contractor's mindset. You see, now we are using the word contractor. A contractor is still a procurement officer. The procurement officer we have a particular, this mindset a procurement officer must come with. That means you cannot just come with your own idea of doing business. There is a mindset you must be structured with here for you to be able to pursue contract first. So we'll be calling back again. Let me just show us some of the mindset we need to have. Okay, the first mindset we need to have as a contractor, the first one is the win-win mentality. The win-win mentality. Win-win mentality. Now, what do we mean by win-win mentality? Win-win mentality simply means that the contractor will always see every situation as winning. Do you understand? You always see every situation as winning. That means that there's no point in time where you begin to feel that, I'm running, it's not working for me. For example, now, if you bid for a contract and they don't call you, can you still see that as win? You see, this is the mentality the contractors do have that some of people who have not started this business will not have. Because some people, when they apply for this contract, they did not call, they say, they did not call me. If they didn't invite you, that's what we call if they didn't call. If they didn't invite you, will you still see that as a win? Are you still winning? Some people see winning as only when they are getting. No, contractors don't see winning as only getting. Contractors see winning as making move. If you are sleeping in your bed doing nothing, then contractors say you are not winning. Except if you are sleeping to ponder over what you have done during the day. You want to take a nap, that's winning. But just to wake up in the morning and say, even if I go there, they will not give me this contract. Some people already defeat themselves in their room before they even come out. They say, they won't give me, they've already shared the contract among themselves. Is it not federal government contract? They already know the people they want to give. Forget that thing. Now, that person can never ever win contract that way. See, you can be in the presence where they distributed contract to everybody, and you will tell yourself that if I go there, whether they give me or not, they will be aware of me. You create awareness before you pursue contract. Let them be aware. Assuming your company's name is Johnson Limited, let the procurement officers, let the project sponsors be aware that there is a Johnson Limited. So you see now, you can't relax at home and now say that I know they will not give me because they've already decided who to give. That's a very wrong mentality. So we have the win-win. Win-win means that they say they have given it to Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D. We say no problem. Like I said, you just try to go there and create an awareness. Let me teach you how to create an awareness about your company name where they've already sold out all the contracts. You see, I told you that we are in a practical session. What we are doing here is not just a theoretical thing for you to just come and listen and then come for exam. No, Export Global goes beyond exam. Even though you listen to write exams to pass, when we give you certificate but you don't get these jobs, they are not good to us. We need you to begin to pursue contracts. We need you to start making money for yourself so that you can improve your life, improve the life of others, and then make the world a better place. This is what Export Global stands for. So that is why we must first of all give you our own way of mentality the contractor should have. Hope that is clear now. Now this is the first win. I say win-win. So you have gotten the first win. Let's move to the second win again. The first win is whether you give me or not, at least I'm making a move. The second win is how to create awareness. How do you make people to know about your organization or your business when there are many people? Let me give you an example. For those who are in the NorCube business, NorCube, we have Reco in Nigeria, we have Doin, we have Star, we have different NorCube. Now, if you bring your own NorCube, how do you think people will abandon Maggi, abandon Reco, abandon Nor Chicken, then they'll start using your own? How do you convince people to use your own? Now, let me explain for you something. See, that brings in the second win-win mentality the contractor needs to have. What you need to do is that you pay the price. At the beginning, you can begin to make expensive advert on television, on radio, on newspaper. You force people to hear your company name. Let me ask you, how many of you know Honeywell? Honeywell started their business by doing adverts in the morning, adverts in the afternoon, adverts in the evening. On radio, they got to a point where children can now sing their jingle when they are going to school. They'll be singing Honeywell something, something, going to school. Why? The Honeywell kept repeating it. Do you know why? The human mind is structured in such a way that if we keep repeating anything to you, it will sink down to your subconscious mind. When it sinks down to your subconscious mind, you are aware of it. So the first thing you need to do as a contractor is you must learn how to sell yourself into the mind of people. Let them not give you contract, no problem, but sell yourself to them. Don't say, how can I sell Indomie? Indomie has already taken over the noodles business. There are some people who are coming into noodles business. Mimi is a new brand and is also selling. These people, first of all, had this this second win mentality. They believe that by the time we create awareness, don't buy, but just be aware we exist. You see the way I listed some of the NorCube now. Somebody will say, no, me, I don't use Reco, but you know there is a Reco, right? Reco is okay when you know they are there, because a day will come when that particular ones you always love to buy is not available. See, there's a time they used to talk about that Johnson detergent. See, we have Omo, we have Clean, we have Ariel. Now, your name is Johnson, for example, and we have Johnson detergent. Somebody comes to the market, you see Ariel, you see Mama Africa, he sees Clean, and he sees Johnson. So what is this Johnson? Please, I don't know Johnson. Give me Omo. It's Omo I know. There's a day you go to the market, they say no Omo, no Clean. We only have Johnson. You say, this Johnson, I've heard about them. Would have been advertising on radio and television, right? Give me Johnson one. Let me go and try. Once somebody makes a try of your product, that's a win-win. That's what we are looking for. So it's the same thing if you go for a contract. If you go for a contract and they say, we already have 200 people there, there's no problem. Sir, what we do in our company is you keep talking about your company. Say we have heard, but we told you we have 250. But you keep talking about your company. You are registering your company name to them. Sometimes, let me even tell you one trick. It's a secret for people who really want to pursue business very well. Sometimes you cause a scene in that place. For example, somebody came to a particular contract site where the contract environment, where they already told him that they already have 200 people. Do you know what the guy did? The person opened his bottled water. He came with rag prepared. He opened a little bit of it and he poured on the floor. And why did you pour water in this office? And he brought out his rag and was cleaning the water. Do you know, as he was cleaning the water, he said, what kind of a man is this? Are you seeing it? Any way you look at it, is creating awareness about his company. So if he goes away, if he comes back the next day, you remember, it's not this man that poured water on top of my desk. I'm not saying you should do it, though. I'm only trying to teach you that you can create awareness anyhow. Once you create awareness, we don't retract here. Remember our do's and don'ts. The first don't, we say, never give up for the first attempt. Anybody that has not gotten the win-win mentality, the person will give up on the first attempt. Because some people will insult you, even call security to go and throw you away. They say, how did this man even manage to come inside here? Somebody that has not gotten this win-win mentality will say, do you see how they embarrass me? They poured me water, they kicked me, they hit me, I'm not going back to that place. Let me tell you, that place they embarrass you, cost you, that may be the place you will get your first 100 million naira contract. Ask contractors, they will tell you what I'm saying is true. That's the first mentality. Then the second mentality you need to have, we are still on the contractor's mentality, right? We are looking at how to pursue a contract. So some people will be thinking when I say how to pursue a contract, I will say, write this, write that. No, work on your mentality first. Then the second one is time. I think this one we said that under the do's and don'ts too. But I'll explain to you the mentality of time and chance mentality here. Time and chance mentality. Time respects only people who have proven beyond reasonable doubt that they need what they are pursuing. Should I come again? Let me come again so that you get it. Time will respect you only when you can prove to time that I need this thing beyond reasonable doubt. How does time do that? You try the first time. Listen, we used to say you try the first time, it didn't work. You try the second time, it didn't work. You try the third time. It's not time we're talking about. You try the first time, second time, time. And what is this mentality? Time mentality. Time respects you only after you've done. There's a level you get, time will say it's okay. It's okay. You deserve it. You deserve it. Take the contract. So we call that mentality time and chance mentality. Contractors that are not groomed this way, they will definitely give up. Once they pursue first contract, second contract, third contract, no one is working. They'll say, do you know it's my money that is going? But when they understand the time and chance mentality, they will stay until time bows. Let me tell you, time respects people. Time only respects you when you prove to time that, see, time, I need this thing desperately. It will get to a level, time will bow for you, say, take the contract, you merit it. That's what we call time and chance mentality. Time will not offer you. See what time will do. You know they call it time and chance. When time bows to your pressure, time will now offer you what they call chance. The chance is opportunity. Okay, you have been coming here every day telling us you can supply this. Okay, see what we want to do. We will not allow you to do this one. We already have this one. Can you also do this one? You say we can also do this one. Time has provided chance for you. And now the same company that rejected you is offering you a chance to go and solve. Are you seeing it? This is what we call. This is the mentality we build our people with so that you are resilient. Then the third mentality you must have is I am the best mentality. This is a very powerful mentality. Let me tell you what I am the best mentality means. I am the best mentality drives away low self-esteem. Some people already have low self-esteem about themselves. I'm not good enough. Maybe because of where they are coming. There are people that have been battered all their life. Nobody appreciates them when they do anything. Do you know little thing you can do? I say thank you. There are people all their life, nobody tells them thank you for anything they do. They grow up with that kind of mentality of nobody tells them thank you. So if they are pursuing contract, they go here, they still don't get the feel that maybe it's because I'm not good. Are you seeing it? So they can easily go back. Because why? They already feel that they are not the best. We don't know how to do. I'm just trying to try. I'm trying my best. No. When you come out, you say you are the best. Let me tell you, you are the best mentality puts you into working mood more. You have to be working to maintain that I'm the best factor. Rejection doesn't mean you are not the best. Pursuing contract and did not get doesn't mean you are the best. It doesn't mean you are not the best. It simply means that the time and time is still trying to vet you. Ask any successful businessman in Nigeria. Ask any successful businessman in Africa. Ask Otidola. Ask Afe Babalola, who is one of the richest entrepreneurs in Nigeria. And I ask them, tell them how many times they did what they did to be successful. They will tell you that I tried. Afe Babalola will tell you how many times he tried setting up a private university. It was not working until later time bowed to him. And now today he has one of the best private universities in Nigeria. This is the rule of time and chance. But first of all, you must have that I am the best mentality. And the best mentality makes you work harder. I can do better. I am the best. You get up in the morning. How many of you see most men don't have private mirror in their house? Let me say it again. Most men think that standing mirror is for only women. It's not true. As a contractor, you see what I want to say now will be sounding somehow to you. You say, what is the big connection between mirror and contract? But listen to me, we are professionals. I'm talking to you as a professional in this business. I've been in this business for almost 11 years. So I'm telling you what to do. You get a standing mirror. When you wake up in the morning, you go to your standing mirror and you remind yourself again. You don't wait for people to tell you you are good. You tell yourself, you know you're the best. You say, God has made me the best. You see, you're talking to yourself. You are building your self-confidence. When you go outside, you don't wait for people to tell you, oh, you are the best. Oh, you look good. Oh, Tell yourself first on the mirror you look good. So that whether they tell you or not, it doesn't matter. You see, that mentality keeps you going, even in the face of rejection. Like you see, like we said, now the best mentality is not a. Some people see it as, is this not standing like being proud? No, that's not pride. Pride is when you begin to rub off what you have on people. You're not rubbing off anything on anybody. You're already making yourself. You are quoting yourself against external forces that want to pull you down with their bad mouth. You know, there are people with bad mouths. So what you are doing is that you are wearing your garments of, you can't pull me down. That's what you do by saying you are the best mentality. So we have given you the mentality you need to have as a contractor who wants to go in for a particular bid. Then the next thing is preparing for the interview session. That's number 2. I think we already wrote it there. Preparing for the interview session. Interview session is when you have been invited. You know, when we did the make or buy, we showed you where they said invitation, right? Now, if they invite you, there are certain things you must prepare. We are talking about preparing for interview now. Now, there are certain things you need to understand when you're coming to bid for contract. If you come to bid for a contract, most organizations even start taking their interview from your entrance. Some people think that is when they sit down and they start asking them questions, can you supply this thing? That's when the interview starts. No, interview starts from the gate. Imagine somebody is bidding for a contract of 500 million. Imagine you are bidding for a contract of 500 million naira. And the company has a camera they put at the gate. Then you that you are bidding for contract of 500 million, you came with a keke na pep. And when you came down, you and the keke man, you are quarreling. You see, the company is already watching you from somewhere. Is this man that is coming to bid or this woman coming to bid 500 million naira and is even fighting with a taxi driver or a keke na pep driver? Can you imagine? So you see, that's already poor way to start your interview session. So sometimes people fail and they put their blame on people. They say it's village people. They say, no, sometimes it's you. Prepare yourself and push everything to God and see it to go well if it's your time. All right, so now we are talking about, what are we talking about now? We are talking about that when you are coming, make sure you settle with whoever is bringing you. If you have a car, fine. If you don't have a car, no problem. But whoever is bringing you, settle properly with the person. And there's another thing again, we also tell our people, if you have the money, you pay the cabman, and you can even tell the cabman that he should come and open door for you. It's not a bad thing. You're not being proud. It's part of the business. When you are bidding for 500 million naira contract, somebody should come and open door for you when you come down from the car. They are taking note. You would think the company is not taking note. They are taking note from the gate. Say, wow, this man even has a driver. Because as far as they are concerned, it's a driver you have. Because when you come down like this, when the car stops, the driver will just pull out and come down and come and open your door. Then you now come out. Do you know some people say when they are coming out, let me tell you, they won't even just come out anyhow. They will bring out one leg and they will stay inside the car. You know, that shows that this is the owner of the car. There is a way people who own something do, and there's a way somebody who rented it do. If you own that car, when you're coming out from your own car, you can't come out as if they are chasing you, as if you paid. You bring out one leg, and the other leg is inside the car. And you can bring out and be writing something, and later you pull out that leg. They say, yeah, this is the owner of the car. 500 million is not, 500 million is $500 million, in case you are not aware. So it's not a small contract you are pursuing. If you go for CBN contract to supply paper, you can get 500 million naira contract to supply paper, or to supply ink, or to supply mercury. So they start watching you from there. So we need to train you. Then number 2, after that one has been settled, Now, the next one we now teach you is your mode of dressing. Now, you dress based on the contract you are going for. There are contracts you are going for that if you wear three-quarter, it's not bad as a man. There are contracts that if you come for as a woman, you wear sleeveless, it's not bad, depending on the nature of the contract. Somebody wants to come and supply makeup kits for the ladies who want to do runway model, and is a lady. So if she's coming for that contract, she needs to look like what she's selling. You are doing makeup and you are supplying it for these girls that will come and do runway model. So you need to look like what you sell. So you see, it's okay. But not when you are not coming for a place where you say you want to come and train coppers, or you want to come and train professionals in an organization. You say you're a professional, your job is to train consultants in an organization. So when they bring you to come and train employees, sorry, you're a consultant, you want to come and train employees. When you want to come and train employees, first of all, they will also see the way you dress. And let me tell you, dressing is not only clothes. People think dressing is only the clothes. No, dressing is not your clothes alone. The way you walk is part of dressing. When they offer you a seat, the way you sit is part of dressing. Your carriage is part of dressing. See, when somebody is confident, it shows in the way the person walks and the way the person talks. That's part of dressing. And now is what we talk overdressing. There are times when you see somebody, a lady or a man, who wear yellow top, brown skirts, green this. At the end of the day, everything is colorized. They call that overdressing. Some ladies will put on big ashoke. They will put some dangling earrings. They don't understand the kind of contract they are going for. At the end of the day, they say the dressing is too much for the contract you're pursuing, or the dressing is too small for the contract you're pursuing. So you dress to be in line with the contract you're pursuing, but make sure you don't give them color riots, and make sure that you just look smart for that particular contract. But your dressing matters. Then now, if you come inside the interview hall, first of all, let me tell you, there's an office, there's a new way they are building offices now. They call them smart office. If you come for a contract interview in a smart office, where you are the one that will tell chair to come out, you see, the one most of you are used to is the one you come, you see chair, you see that. In smart office, when you enter, you're the one that tell the light to come on. As you open your door, you say lights come on, the light to come on. You tell the AC to come on, the AC come on. You tell television to come on. They call it smart office. So it's same thing with the chair. So you see the panel sitting, waiting for you. They say, sit down. And you turn back, there's no chair now. And they say, young lady, sit down now. You'll be doing like, but I can't find chair anywhere. You say, where is this person coming from? You want to pursue one 500 million contract. You don't even know a smart office. You don't know that this is a smart office. For us to tell you to sit down, there is a chair somewhere now. All you needed to do, anywhere you position your mouth, they don't do voice detection. They don't do it must be a particular voice. If in that office you say chair, come out, they've already positioned. That's why they say you should come here. When you're coming, they say, okay, no, young lady, come here. And you come and say, okay. Once you say chair, come and you see one chair, we just pull out and you see that. That's the smart office. So that you don't go and embarrass yourself. We are in the technology world now. Are we together? All right, so now after that one, now, once you sit down, there's a way you sit down as a man and there's a way you sit down as a woman. There are different sitting positions. Sitting position depicts a lot of things. You see, when somebody sits down like this now, and you see, if you stay like this, that means this person is saying that I'm ready for you people, you can talk to me. There's a position, like there's another way, some people used to sit like this. Sitting this kind of position means that you are not comfortable, you are not confident, you are afraid, you don't know what will come out from this thing, you need it, you see this position. But some people who sit don't even know that they are checking their position. Then some people sit like this. Then some ladies will wear mini skirts when they come for a contract, and when they wear the mini skirt is here. And you know, when you wear mini skirt as a woman, if you sit down, the mini skirt will not go up again, definitely. So definitely, such women cannot sit like this. And that particular contract, some of them come for, require that they sit this way, not like this. Because there is not every contract you go that you sit like this. So like this is serious confidence. So this kind of sitting position I'm showing you now is a position whereby we are already used to you. You can't, I don't know if you understand, or you are somebody that has made so much money, or you are somebody that has made so much impact in that. It's not like a newcomer in the business. You just come and they say, what was the meaning of it? Even we are not sitting like this, you are still like this. Are you seeing it? So now what happens if the person is putting on mini skirts? The person can't sit any other way than like this, which is already cancelled for dressing for that person. So that's why we only talk about the way people dress, whether you're a man or woman. There are some earrings that can interrupt your discussion. There are some things you want to say, the dangling earring. The ladies know what I'm talking about. The earring will go like this. They want to talk, the earring will go because it's a dangling earring. It's interrupting the discussion. They say, young lady, please, this earring, are you okay with it? You see, they are not supposed to talk about your wares there. So simple, you just put a simple one. But there are places that need dangling earring. I gave you an example, like the runway make up something. They want that kind of dangling earring. Are you seeing it? So for a man too, if you put on suits, don't over-tie yourself that when you are talking, you do no. If you know it's too tight on your neck, arrange it from your house so that when you sit down, it is about the interview now, not about your clothes again. That means at no point in time you now start. You are not shooting movie where you need to arrange yourself. You are there for an interview. So if you sit down like this, then you are ready for their question. Then don't greet, good morning, sir, good morning, ma, good afternoon. No, you are constituting nuisance. See, we are teaching you how to go for contract interview so that you go well. You just sit down like this and you say, good afternoon, everyone, if it's afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Even if they are 15 number, good afternoon, everyone. It's just like you are giving them one greeting to share. Instead of good afternoon, sir, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, you just interrupt and spoil everything. Are we together? So you just say good afternoon, everyone. They say good afternoon. If they say, why are you here? Some people get confused when they ask them, why are you here? They say, are you not the ones that invited me? Why are you asking me, why are you here? Why are you here simply means that there is something we need and there is something you say you have, right? I am here because this company is in need of so. And I, so person, I have. Are you learning? Are you seeing it? And I have all the skills. I have this to provide everything this company needs. So the company says, okay, that means you really know why you are here. Are you seeing it? So you can see that people get contracts sometimes not because they know anybody. So forget that thing they used to tell you that before you get a contract, you must know somebody. It's not always true. There are contracts you can get the way you carry yourself and talk. The people say, let's give this man a chance. We've just told you how to sit properly when you come for an interview. So you see, you agree with me that now, the next thing now lies on them. After they begin to ask you questions, you answer what you can answer. And another thing again we need to correct in an interview section, never come with a do or die. We told you win-win. Win-win doesn't mean do or die. Do or die means that it's either they give me this one or not. If you come with that mentality, if they don't give you, you must definitely go on unhappy. But when a win-win mentality is different from do or die. Do or die simply means that, see, by fire, by force. And by fire, by force sometimes does not work when you come for this particular contract. All right, the next thing we are going to look at now is post-contract, because I wrote it there, post-interview session. Post-interview session means when they say the interview is over. Can you imagine that when they say interview is over, can you imagine if they say interview is over, that the interview is actually not over? Interview is over only means that the question session time is over. Doesn't mean that the interview is over. So as you are going, they are still checking some things. As you are leaving, they are still monitoring some things. They are still making some assessment about what you just said. Because somebody can say something is not doing. Somebody can prepare very well just to come and show us how he works here. And then when he's going out of the organization, he now begins to work like the real person that he is. I don't know if you understand. You have maybe a person has taken his time to learn how to work for an interview. Then now the person is going out. And the person now wants to become himself. No, you don't become yourself until you actually leave that vicinity completely. If you arrange with that car person to come and pick you at so time, there should be maybe when you go out to you make your call or whatever, but make sure that you leave that vicinity, you remain the same. Then another thing you do again about the post-interview session is whatever you have been told to do. There are some things they'll tell you, okay, we'll get back to you in 3 days' time. But if we don't get back to you in 3 days' time, do this. We'll get back to you in 5 days' time, but if we don't get back to you in 5 days' time, do this. Whatever they say, you make sure you do them as you have been agreed, as you have been told to do. Then another thing about post-interview session is that there's nothing wrong if you go back to the company from time to time and say, I've not heard anything from this company, so I say, let me just come, and it's not wrong. It still shows that you're interested and you really want to work with them. Not every day, but from time to time. Are we together? All right, so these are some of the things we look under post-interview session. I think that was the 3 I gave you. I gave you first one as the contractor's mentality, which we talked about. Then the next one is the interview session. And then the third one is what? The post-interview session. So you see, with all this preparation we have given you, now this person has been prepared on how to go. Now the next thing, which is the last thing we are going to discuss, is how to create contract where there is no contract. This is a very powerful one. How to create, that's the last thing we'll talk about in this topic. How to create a contract where there is none. Do you know what it means? Where there is no business, you create business. Do you understand what we are talking about here? Where the people are not saying we need anything, you come there. Do you know that you can come and show people what they need that they don't know that they need? For example, you say, wow, in this, okay, let's use Esford Global as an example now. You come to Esford Global, you say, wow, this is a training center. Well, Esford Global should have, I noticed that Esford Global does not have so thing. I think Esford Global should have this. It's okay, we also have we've not thought about this, so you now explain to them why they will need it. Once you can explain to the organization why they will need it, they say, okay, you say, I'm into the production of this. I supply this, I give this. Are you seeing it? People create business also for themselves, but only when you must go to that organization and study their mission, their vision, their lack, and what they have, what they don't have, and what they have. You can only tell us what we don't have when you know what we have. If you come here and say, Esford Global should have this, we say we have it. Esford Global should set up a training center where we say we have visual center. Esford Global should have online, we say we have online. Esford Global should go to, we say we are there. Because you did not study the organization. That's why you cannot create contract where there's no contract. Why most young people don't get jobs, get contract when they pursue that they are waiting for when they will see an advert. Same thing happens to the job seekers. Our job seekers are waiting for when they will say NNPC is recruiting, ICPC is recruiting, EFCC is recruiting. They don't say they are recruiting. Have you ever seen where CBN is announcing they are recruiting? They don't announce it. Sometimes you step into organization and begin to tell them things you will do. They say, I know me, I cannot do that kind of a thing. Then that's why the person has not gotten the job he's looking for. So if you're a contractor or somebody that is pursuing business, make sure, let me give you a very simple one. You may say Esford Global, you don't know where Esford Global is. Wherever you are, whether you're in Nigeria, you're in UK, you're in West Africa, in Ghana, you are in Israel, anywhere you are all over the world, just listen. What I'm saying is for you. What I'm saying is that all you need to do is to first of all go and look for the businesses around you. Enter a shop where they are selling clothes. Enter a shop where they are producing food. Enter a shop where they sell whatever and begin to find out what they have and what they don't have. You can do as if you are there to eat food. For example, you go to a restaurant where they sell food. Then now you begin to ask, Madam, do you sell continental dishes here? They say, no, we don't. Do you sell Chinese food here? No, we don't. There's a market already for you. Now you now say, how about bringing Chinese customers for you? You say, well, if you can bring Chinese customers for us, then we can start producing Chinese food. Then let's go into a business. How much will you pay me to bring the Chinese customers for you? I also have Chinese products, food for. Are you seeing it? Are you not creating business where there's no business? So young people should get up from their bed, stand up, and look for how to create business for themselves where there's no business. Mind you, the government is not creating new jobs. And the jobs you're looking for, there is too much competition. Remember that we are a practical-oriented center in Esford Global. So we will not only tell you how to pass exams, we teach you how to go fight for the contract. That job you're pursuing, in Nigeria, the president's son is also pursuing it. The vice president's son is interested, the senate president's son. So you're competing, you versus the senate president's son, you versus the president's son. Why not go to an area where you will be the champion? Why fight with people who already have all it takes to fight you? When you say you have God, they also have God, because everybody prays to God. But you go to an area where you create for yourself. There is something you love. Don't tell me you don't love anything. There is something you have passion for. We have ladies who say they love to cook. We have ladies who say they love to sing. We have guys who say they like to do computer work. Why not walk into a computer firm and find out what they are not doing and go and specialize in it and come and do it for them? And say, this organization, I found out that you people have no beautiful designs on the wall. They say, it's true, I can produce it for you. Let's go into. You see, what are we doing? You are creating a contract where there's no contract. If you always wait for contracts to always come and meet you, and being sincere with you, you may stay and not get contract. So thank you for listening. Remain blessed and put what you've learned in action. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. This is our Q&A session where we give participants opportunity to ask questions as regards what they have learned. So the question floor is open to anyone who has any question to ask. So if you have any question to ask, feel free and ask your question, but we condone and entertain practical questions, not theoretical questions. So you can go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll supply the answers to you. Thank you as you ask your questions.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful lecture. My name is Ememo Bon Godfrey Ayo, And I have two questions to ask you. One is from project cost management, while the other is from work breakdown structure. Sir, as a professional project manager, if the prices agreed upon with the project sponsor as regards budget suffers inflation, what should a project manager do since the prices had been agreed upon? Sir, the second question, how do you draft out a work breakdown structure from a business like fashion or pastry? Thank you very much, sir.
Your first question is a case where there's inflation. Since we've already said budget cannot be tampered once agreed upon, once you've signed on the budget, that's all. So now in a situation where there's inflation, inflation means persistent rise in the prices of goods. I guess that's what you're talking about. So if the prices of goods keep increasing, what do you do? Now what we do is that for projects that will linger for a very, very long time, you don't agree on fixed prices with your sponsor. If you agree on fixed prices, that means when the prices of goods rise in inflation period, you are going to suffer for it because you end up paying for everything yourself. So what you do in that situation is to agree with the sponsor that there will be situations whereby as prices change, we are fixed price based on prevailing market price. This part is agreed upon. That means that at every point in time, there shouldn't be any time when you tell the sponsor that the sponsor says just go and bring a budget. You bring a fixed budget, right? But the agreement between you and the sponsor should be as the prices of this good inflate, since the product will linger. There are some projects that can take 6 months. So if you're doing a project that will take 6 months, you buy materials and keep. When you buy these materials and keep, there are some materials you cannot buy and keep. There are some materials that you buy them when you need them. So for such materials that you will buy when you need, then those ones you're going to charge him based on prevailing price. So whatever you wrote on the quotation and on the budget does not matter. What matters is on the prevailing price. That's how we relate to inflationary periods. Is that okay? All right, the second question is on WBS. WBS means work breakdown structure. I think your question is how do we do WBS for fashion or pastry? So let me show you an example now. This is how a WBS is. WBS is something like this. We've broken the work into smaller units. So assuming this is pastry or fashion. Now, let's pick any of them. There's no problem about any of them. If we pick pastry that you made mention now, pastry means baking of cake, most of it is baking of cakes, baking of samosa, spring rolls, egg sauce, and the rest of them. So whatever we are baking here what we do here is we pick the general work. So you number it like this. Then you ask, if we want to bake a cake, what is the first thing to do when you're baking a cake? What do you do the first thing? We get a flour, right? We mix our flour with a small quantity of water. Now that mixing of flour with small quantity of water, we come here and call it here. We write mix small quantity of water with flour. Are you seeing it as number one? Then when you come here, you now write, on top of here, you now write, let's say we are producing samosa or spring rolls. You see, this is samosa. Then you now come here and say step one, you now say mix water with flour. Are you seeing it? Then you now come here and put the next thing that you do. You get, if the next thing is to bring your non-stick frying pan, you bring your non-stick frying pan and put it on the non-stick frying pan and put it on the fire. Step 2. If step 3 is to drop 2 teacups of groundnut oil, then you write drop 2 teaspoons of groundnut oil. Here, are you seeing it? What we actually do in WBS is to break whatever work you're doing into smaller units. Then you put it in pictorial form like this. The essence of putting it in pictorial form so that when you send it to any project manager, he or she will understand exactly what you're talking about. Are we together? All right, so the next question can be